Hi, welcome to a God Vlog. My name is Scott Elliott. I'm the pastor at First Congregational Church in Mount Vernon, Ohio. And other than posting sermons online, this is my first vlog post during the coronavirus pandemic. Faith communities around the world have been canceling in-person services in their buildings, and clergy and staff have been hard at work retooling for services online, or in some cases where it's still allowed and feasible, creating drive-in worship services in parking lots and probably other creative things I haven't heard yet. But we do not have access to a parking lot, and it's we can't do things outside, so because of the weather. So right now our retooled services are going to be online, posted here on a God Vlog, as well as on our church website, mvucc.org. MV like Mount Vernon, mvucc.org. In-person worship services they're great. People of faith tend to love their three-dimensional gatherings with God's palpable presence in holy places and in the Word and the music, and most especially other people's faces, other people's presence in the building. But in-person worship is only a part of what faith communities do. We try all week long to be the hands and the feet and the voice of God. Just to give one example, in the community that I live in, faith communities have long rotated providing a free hot meal every night of the week, no questions asked. And this happens all year long, every day. And this rotation's continuing during the crisis, though we now deliver the meals out at the curbside instead of having a nice sit-down dinner because of safety protocol. We are also, of course, responding to individual needs of people who ask for help as best we can, and my parishioners know to call me for pastoral care, and if I need to get out to them, and I can safely, I will, but we can also talk on the phone or email. All of this work is considered by many in the church as the incarnation of God. I'm not the only person doing it. Volunteers in the church are doing it. Other clergy are doing it. Volunteers out in the community are doing it. And we consider it to be the incarnation of God, that is actions of love. Because in the Bible, the word love, the definition actually means the care and the desire for the well-being of others. And love is understood in Christianity as the primary characteristic of God. In fact, the Bible instructs in the New Testament that God is love, which we can understand to mean that anywhere there is love, there is God. And so when any of us acts with care and desire for well-being of others, it can be understood to be an incarnation of God in a very real way. And while I deeply appreciate the many things faith communities do for the well-being of others during this pandemic, I have been deeply moved by the incarnation of God and the actions of love being provided far and wide by many, many people, whether they consider themselves religious or not, or are acting through a faith community. The coronavirus is a worldwide pandemic, and it is a threat, and it is a worry globally. It's real, and it's wreaking havoc. But by God, much of community globally is responding with counter-pandemic love. It's really happening. There's so much care and desire for the well-being of others going on out there. There's really is a lot of action that's love-oriented. That's love in action out there. In fact, if you're practicing social distancing and washing your hands to help stop the disease and lower fatalities across the board and incidences of the disease, you are incarnating God in those very actions. And of course, there are amazing stories of other acts of love, dynamic acts of God through human hands and feet and voice. In my community, the health department and the hospital and medical providers have teamed up with community leaders to keep access to healthcare going as smooth as it can be. That's another example. They've taken solid steps to also keep us apprised of the risks as well as actions that we can take to be safer and healthier. And local schools in my area, from bus drivers to cook to administrators to teachers to other school workers, have not just kept students safe all along, but they've helped children continue to learn now that they're at home. And they're actually delivering food, even now still, through stops. The buses are bringing food out there for those who are on the federal food program, so that the children who depend on schools to provide them food are still getting the food. It's absolutely incredible how folks are working together out there. And it's not just my community, it's not just faith communities and health and school workers tending to the well-being out there. Businesses that are able are providing paychecks to those being laid off. People employed to provide necessities are coming to work and engaging protocols to keep everyone as safe as they can while they can work as long as they can. Grocery workers and truck drivers are keeping food stocks up. It's amazing. And it's grace-filled work that they are doing, and they're doing it the best that they can. Law enforcement and firefighters and EMTs are out there on the ready, on the streets, in their stations, doing their jobs while many of us are hunkered down. In my community, the National Guard is already pitching in. A lot of workers in many industries are doing work at home and at offices to keep as much of our lives running as possible, tending to the well-being of us. Neighbors are looking in on each other. Strangers are helping strangers. People are tending to animals that are out there unattended to and in need of care. I've heard these wonderful stories about humans tending to creation and one another as parts of creation. It's really quite a time of awe and wonder and most especially love. And when I get asked where God was in this time of crisis, which I know I will, I'm going to be able to respond that God was in all of these things and in more. What a blessing to know that humans are out there being loved. And I send thank yous today on this first vlog out to everyone out there, including all of you that are providing in some way for the care and the desire of the well-being of others. It matters much. Please keep it up. It is beautiful. It is God in our actions. And be safe and be careful and be prayerful. And go in peace, knowing that you are loved and that you matter much.